Hi, I'm Breana Patel, CEO of Bonova Advisory. Today I'm here with the Chief Compliance Officer of Banco Bradesco, Luis Sufiantes, to talk about risk and compliance. So Luis, thank you for your time today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, of how you got into risk and compliance, and how did you get to become the Chief Compliance Officer?
Okay. Hey, good afternoon. Well, back in 2001, the compliance officer position for bank was the position. Was only one compliance officer per bank, pretty much. But after the 9/11 event, it became another industry within the industry. So I was working at compliance at 2001 already, and I just had to put more effort on my learning, on my training, and that's how I started and developed this career. 2001 was the creation of the U.S. Patriot Act also. So I kind of grow with the new BSA regulations. And how I joined with Banco Bradesco. When 2015, Banco Bradesco was looking for a compliance officer, and my current employer was moving out of the city.
Okay.
So it was kind of perfect match, and that's how I'm here. I'm very happy to be at Bradesco. It's a very big bank. It's one of the most important banks in Brazil, and I'm happy to be here.
That's fantastic. So what, in your view, are the most important factors for setting up a strong compliance program?
Well, for me are two main factors. I think the main factor is the compromise of the entire organization. The entire organization had to be supporting the compliance function.
Right.
And when I say the entire organization, it starts from the board of directors. The tone at the top must really happen, and must be there for the entire compliance function. The other one is the budget, because the budget is what really gives you independence.
Right.
Because the compliance function need to be independent. But if you depend on the budget by the business areas, it's never going to be independent.
That's
so
true.
the budget is very, very relevant, and also I think the budget allows you to keep your team, to grow your systems,
Right.
and to have the system fine-tuning and therefore functioning according to the regulatory expectations.
That's definitely so important, to have budget for all this technology and this system and the human resources to help you be compliant. But
exactly.
But in your view, what benefit does a strong compliance program bring, other than the obvious of meeting the regulations and avoiding fines?
Yeah, I think the main aspect of the strong compliance function is to protect the bank from what they call reputational risk. The reputational risk, I think, is the most important risk that the bank can face. So for me, that's the main protection that the compliance had to provide to the bank.
Right.
And when you have reputational risk, it's unbelievable. But in previous employment, after the bank is under an order, even to close an FX transaction with another bank, the bank requests verification. How are you doing with the order? It's a very difficult situation for the bank.
Right, that's true. And reputation causes you a lot of losses, customer losses, and you know, fines, and more than fines, it's about the the operations in the market and how you are competitively positioned with the other banks. So
exactly.
That's so true.
And even if you're trying to recruit someone, that person is kind of reluctant to come to the bank because
It's true. Yeah.
I don't want to walk into a bank with trouble. So
Oh, that's so
important
true.
as well.
Yeah, very crucial. So sometimes the concept of KYC is misunderstood to be, merely a document checklist or checking, the customer identity or, getting to know what their address proof is. But KYC is a lot more than that. And so what are your views on that?
Well, for me, KYC is an ongoing effort that the bank must be documented and registered and have the proper systems in order to monitor and keep the ongoing process. KYC is not just identifying the customer. The KYC should be there during the life of the customer.
Right.
Okay, so for example, we can have a customer that is a U.S. customer dealing with Canada. All of a sudden, you start receiving wires or sending wires to other countries with high-risk jurisdictions. The system should be able to pick up these transactions and say, now this customer is dealing with another jurisdiction, and we need to have that impacted into the risk assessment of the customer.
That's
so
true.
KYC is a lot more than that. And now with the fifth element on the BSA regulation, we ensure also the KYC must be an ongoing activity.
Right.
And the bank need to change their attitude in terms of get back to the customer, obtain the information, and it's going to be in every bank. So normally they say, oh, you are the only bank who are requesting this. No, now going to be every bank requesting the same.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So shifting the gears a little bit on the risk side of the house, what do you think, how can, one supercharge a established enterprise risk management program?
Oh, okay. It's, risk programs are a moving target for me. I mean, you can have, normally it's a risk management. It's not about you have to have the capacity to react to events, to political circumstances, to changes in the economy, to different aspects of the changing financial world.
Right.
Because it's always a moving target.
Yeah.
So you need to be ready to switch gears.
Right.
And to me, enterprise management, risk management had to be with all those conditions. And you had to have teams, you had to have the people, you had to have the system. But again, the budget plays an important role.
Right.
Okay, but to me, it's a moving target. So it's nothing that had to be written on stone.
Yeah.
It had to be a moving target.
Right. So it becomes very important to be agile, to have a proactive approach rather than sit and wait and react after the situation has already occurred. Right.
Exactly.
So what are the top risks that your board is currently concerned about?
I'm not sure what my board is concerned, but I think every
the
board,
usual every bank board,
every board should be concerned about the reputational risk.
Right.
And again, reputational risk can be caused by operational risk, which to me is very important.
Right.
Compliance risk, financial risk, but at the end, it becomes a reputational risk.
Right.
No matter how you want to call the risk, at the end, it's a reputation. If any institution suffer the damage of their reputation, I think it's the most expensive risk they can face.
Right. So in our last discussion, you mentioned that cryptocurrencies now are sooner or later going to become a posing issue to financial institutes and banks. Could you elaborate more on that for us?
Well, my concern is that most of the banks, they are not prepared to deal with cryptocurrencies. And when I say they are not ready, I'm talking about technology.
Right.
I'm talking about controls in place. I'm talking about something that they don't know, that's totally new. I'm talking about that most of the banks have dozens of systems to manage the daily operations. So it's not going to be easy to switch gears into these complex controls. Additionally, we have these cybersecurity issues where we have issues currently with the
Right.
current money.
Yeah.
Can you imagine to guard the currency that is more I would say I think it's more
Centralized.
no, it's more than centralized. I think it's more in danger to
Right.
be stalled
Right.
by cyber thief.
That's true.
That's my concern about the how banks. Again, I think just to go back, ignorance about it. We don't know everything about it. Then
Right,
the
right.
currency.
Yeah.
And most of the how we're gonna guard, how we're gonna
The theft.
keep.
Yeah.
Exactly. The custody that we're gonna
Right.
do over those currencies.
Okay. So lastly, I wanted to ask you, what advice do you have or peer-to-peer tips do you have for other chief risk officers and chief compliance officers of banks?
I think, again, and the compliance function cannot be isolated. I think the compliance function had to be a team effort for the entire institution, and you had to bring the board. When you bring the board to be involved, business areas gonna want to be involved because they
Right.
want to show off to the
Yeah.
board,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Always the case.
exactly. So then they're gonna be complying with whatever requirements are. But also, I think it's reinforce the three lines of defense because the three lines of defense are at the moment I don't see them working pretty well.
That's true.
We need to add more compliance wording on the job description of the business areas. We need to add compliance wording on the salary evaluations for the business areas.
Right.
So I think the other thing I think is relevant for a good compliance program is to be able to build teams.
Right.
If you have a strong team, you are pretty much close to be successful.
Right. That's
Okay,
true.
and the other thing is be honest with the regulators.
Right.
When you have regulators that can trust you,
Yeah.
I think you have halfway with the regulatory examinations.
Yeah, definitely. They understand sometimes when you explain this
Exactly.
is the issue and how this is how we are gonna remediate and
Exactly.
be compliant to the
I
regulation.
think it's the relationship with the regulator has to be mutual respect.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, what's your to wrap this up? What, I would like to ask, what is your favorite life lesson quote? And if given a chance to have private breakfast with someone who you consider to be very successful, who would that be?
Well, I think I had two life lesson quotes. One is the game is not over until it's over, and that means
one.
you have to fight until the last moment.
Right.
Okay, you have to keep playing until the whistle sound. You have to keep playing, and that is it's an example of life. I mean, in every activity, you
Yeah.
can give up before the whistle blows. And the other one is financial institutions should learn that in terms of risk management, there are no shortcuts. Okay, you will pay now or you will pay later, but you
That's
will
true.
pay.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
true.
and in terms of a person, I would say my favorite person for many years have been Bill Gates.
Oh wow.
For what he did, bringing his hobby into lifetime project,
That's true.
and be able to become one of the richest men just following up his ideas, and also become the biggest philanthropist that
That's true.
he is now
Yeah.
in the new era.
Doing meaningful work.
Exactly.
Right,
So
right.
I sincerely admire this guy. Also with very stable
Yeah.
private life, same wife,
Yeah.
You know,
Right, right.
w-
That's
with
important. Balanced in every horizon of the life.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Family, career. You know, I'm doing some honorable work as well. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and when I say second wife, it is I'm kidding, but at the end it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy had not been with all that money. He had been the same person.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Luis. It's
Thank
been
you.
fantastic talking with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
All right.
coming over.
All right. Thank you.